Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from The Wall titled "She Can't Stop Crying After Instantly Regretting Turning 50 Alone." Guys, it is absolutely hilarious to me to watch these women, completely ruin their lives, say that they don't need no man, adopt womanism, and then they turn 50 and they cry and they regret being alone. This is something that they did to themselves. Now, today's video was suggested to me by Matrix of Madness. I'm going to leave both of their channels linked in the pinned comments, so make sure you go and subscribe to these guys. Don't forget to leave your own comments, and let's jump right into the video.
So if you meet someone in their late 40s, never been married, and no kids, run. I cannot imagine dating someone in their late 40s that's never been married and no kids. Like, what the fuck is wrong with them? No one wanted to wife them up, or no one wanted to marry that guy? Or was he a little playboy? He didn't want to ever commit to anyone?
There are literally hundreds of legitimate reasons why a man in his 40s has never been married. She immediately jumps to the worst conclusions because she's projecting every single one of her mistakes onto men she has quite literally never met.
He likely has never had to sacrifice or put anyone's needs in front of his. Who knows? Maybe it was the whole, his career came first. He had to move so many times. There's always so many fun excuses. But never would I ever. If I was a guy, I would think this as well. Want to be in a relationship with someone that's in their late 40s, or heaven forbid, older, that's never been married and no kids. I'll leave those to everyone else.
And men don't want to date a divorced single mother, especially when she is in her 40s. Men have made more sacrifices during their lunch break than this woman has made in her entire life.
A man in his 40s can still easily start a family with a woman who is 10 to 15 years younger than him, because men typically seek partners who are their age or younger. For women, it's more challenging. By the time they reach their 40s, the ability to have children might no longer be an option, which puts them at a disadvantage if they meet a man around their age or slightly older who wants to start a family.
There's also the idea that women in their 40s are single for a reason. There are exceptions to this rule. Maybe she's a widow or something. Just with, as with anything else in life, there's exceptions. But for the most part, if a woman is single in her 40s, then she's really oftentimes not worth the headache.
On top of that, there are the risks that come with this stage of life and the lifestyle changes a woman might consider, like moving in together, becoming a homemaker, or taking care of someone after spending her entire adult life alone. Such changes can be overwhelming for many women, which is why they struggle when it comes to forming a relationship.
So a guy that I have been dating just broke up with me, and he's sad about it.
We all know that the word dating has lost all meaning in today's world, but she wasn't even in a relationship with this guy, and she's all torn up about it.
And talking about things is healing for me. If you haven't watched my other videos, he was a guy that I knew from high school, and I didn't meet on a dating app or anything. He reached out to me and asked me on a date. And it was just supposed to be to catch up and have a good time, no expectations. And that's exactly what happened. We had a great time. He ended up asking me on a second date, and
I think we can all agree that back when they were in high school together, she had zero interest in him. But now that she's not getting any younger, and after accumulating a significant amount of damage, she realizes that she's not getting any younger, and now is the time for her to settle for what she believes is less. This is something that modern women do a lot, guys. They completely screw around in their youth, and then they look to date their man later on when they really need him. Not because they love him or care about him, but because they need support from him.
We were having conversations about what our non-negotiables were, and one of his non-negotiables was that he didn't want to have to compete with other men for my time. So I deleted Tinder and deleted my Snapchat. And he treated me so well. It was so thoughtful, and
Even when a man treats a modern woman with kindness and dignity, it's never really enough. That's why they're constantly finding themselves either alone or randomly hooking up with dudes.
Be thankful that he was honest and told you he is not your person. He released you so that you can find your person. I had the same thing happen to me a few months ago, 2 weeks prior to ending things. He said he loved me, and then 2 weeks later, said his heart wasn't in it anymore. I am like you. I don't have any chill when I like someone. I'm not obsessive and clingy. I just don't know how to keep someone at an arm's length and, like you said, guard my heart.
These women have spent so much time bed hopping and chasing after the impossible that it's left them with unfixable trust issues that they expect another man to come along and fix. And that will always be their downfall, guys.
I'm sorry this happened. Next time, if you know you have a pattern of being all in too fast, you really need to keep seeing others until you see real commitment from his end.
said things to me that made me think that he wanted the same things. I always get advice about how I need to go slowly and be nonchalant, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to.
When a woman is single and over the age of 40, they get so desperate for a relationship that they will move quickly to try and lock a guy down. And they act like the men will get no say in the future. And when a man does say something, it's seldom the answer that they want to hear.
Guard my heart and not be all in when I like somebody and I see a future with them. I am moving to Texas in January, and he knew that from the very beginning and had said that he was absolutely willing to relocate. So today he told me that he couldn't move away from his children.
This man has chosen to be a father to his children instead of relocating to another part of the country on the off chance of making a relationship work with a woman who clearly didn't respect him in high school. Wise choice.
And all of his kids are grown. They're in their 20s and 30s.
This is the issue with dating after 40, the sacrifices. This woman needs to move to Texas, and this man would have to leave his entire life behind to go with her, including being away from his grown children. Even though they're adults, being far from your family to be with someone you're still getting to know is a big step. Sure, it could turn out wonderfully, but it could also go very wrong.
That's a solid point that this guy just made. Let's just say that this guy moves with her and realizes that she's too far gone to have a relationship. He is now stuck someplace he didn't want to be, away from his family and friends. It is a massive financial and psychological gamble.
On top of leaving your life behind, it's a difficult choice. Let's say he leaves his property, vehicle, stable job, and entire support system behind. She has a job to go to, but he doesn't, which means he'd be dependent on her until he finds employment. She's 44, and he's likely around the same age. At that age, starting over and finding a job isn't easy. This man isn't in his 20s, ready to take risks and go on adventures. He's close to retirement.
If a man has built a stable and comfortable life for himself, it's going to be incredibly difficult to uproot that life to start over again somewhere new. He's clearly weighed the options and maturely decided that it wasn't worth it.
These sacrifices are significant, and many people share the same opinion. Take a look here. Maybe he thought he could move away, and then after thinking about it realized he couldn't. Also, grown or not, I'm not moving away. Personally, I'd never leave my grown kids for anyone. I hope you find your person in Texas. Good luck. I wouldn't leave my kids either. I'm sorry that happened to you. I would tell someone up front that I'm staying where my kids are. They are young adults and still need my guidance.
Even if your kids are fully grown, they are still your children, and this man decided that he wanted to take an active role in their lives, which is commendable in my opinion. He's not going to throw that away for a woman that he barely knows.
Kids, grown or not, it's not easy to leave them. I'm sorry you're dealing with this.
But honestly, I think that he just didn't have the same feelings for me that I did for him. And he was trying to spare me the heartache of telling me the truth. I'm just exhausted and I'm tired of getting my heart broken.
She doesn't believe his legitimate reasons for not wanting to completely change his life for her. He was being honest by saying that he wanted to be close to his kids. That has nothing to do with her heart and everything to do with his.
Yeah. And then having to pick up the pieces. I just feel stupid for putting myself out there. And, like, I just need to have a good cry today. And then tomorrow I will pick myself up and start over.
Oh, hell no!
Everybody knows that this woman will be back in her car crying about the same thing and repeating the endless cycle within the end of the week.
I don't think this man isn't interested. In my opinion, he was. But you're not asking for a small thing. You're asking him to sacrifice his entire life for you. And this isn't a Disney movie where you'll live happily ever after. With a 50% failure rate in marriages, asking someone over 40 to move to another state with you, leaving behind their children, family, friends, a stable job or business, their home, and the comforts of a life where they're not doing badly, just to embark on an adventure with you as if you were teenagers.
There are men in their early 20s and even younger who know that life isn't a fairy tale. Life is difficult, life is unfair, and things won't always work out the way that you want them. And this woman is still obsessed that she's still going to get her happily ever after.
Well, forgive me, but any sensible man would refuse. It's easy to say he doesn't love you when you're essentially asking him to jump out of a plane without a parachute. If you decide to end things, get bored, or change your mind for any reason you consider valid, are you going to give him his life back where he left it? No, you'll just tell him to pack his bags and wish him good luck. It's situations like this that make it so difficult for women hitting the wall to find a partner. At that age, one bad move could leave you out on the street.
It would be one thing if they were together for 10 or 20 years, then they could have a discussion about moving, but she's crying that a guy won't move to Texas with her after literally 2 dates. You can't make this stuff up, guys. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.